returning to Yu-Gi-Oh! Can be intimidating. Luckily, there are a lot of great creators out there who provide helpful content. But this is my journey. While getting back into the game is mostly expensive, I'm doing it the smart way.
And buy the singles!
This series is dedicated to building a competitive deck, but only with singles and on a mightily small budget.
€5
per week. Welcome to Yugioh-Heroes. Well, hello there my fellow gentle nerds. This is Echo again for episode 18 of Yugioh-Heroes. It is announcement time. Episode 18 is very far away into the series. I actually did not expect myself to go through this. I mean, yes, this episode is very late, but I already announced that in the last Soji video, so I think it is okay. The thing is, I feel like the series has reached a point where it's going to end soon. Not because I don't enjoy it. I feel like I'm not as hyped as I was because it slowed down. At the beginning it was like, get new cards, the deck is even more better and playable. But right now we are just doing punctual changes, just very minor changes, because we have to save money, because the cards that we're getting are actually expensive, or there isn't much to change anymore. There's so much that we have already done. And now it is time to set final stage. This episode 18 is not going to be the last. The next one is going to be the penultimate, and episode 20 is going to be the last episode of Yugioh-Heroes. Maybe we will revisit the heroes in the future. Maybe there's a new hero build that comes up and I will do a revision of the series and we'll do it again. And do the new build. Who knows? But for now, this is going to be the end. So, without further ado, we have new cards for this series. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Yeah, well, no, I'm not doing this. Hey, if you see this, you can see that those are tokens. And those are field centers. And if you follow me, or check one of the live streams, or join my Discord, you probably know that I do those things in my spare time and like doing those. And now you can order such cards as well. Look at how shiny it is, the field center. You can order those cards and the link for that is in the description below. So if you want a custom self-made token or field center, just hit me up there or join the Discord. You can find the link there as well. But for this week's new card, we are going to replace this bad boy, Vision Hero Trinity. Vision Hero Trinity is a good card, don't get me wrong. Being 5,000 on the first turn and being able to attack 3 times is kinda good. And going second, it is good as well. The big problem here is I never found myself using it. At least not until now. So that's why I decided to not go further with this card, at least for now. This card is very good, don't get me wrong, but using 3 hero monsters and using polymerization for that is a kind of a steep cost. I could actually use that with Super Poly, so we will see if I'm going to go back on this. But there's going to come a new card into the fray. Destiny Hero Dominance. See this card? Can you see my face there? A bit, I think. You can see my headphones in the reflection. Yeah, that's Destiny Hero Dominance. It's a very good card. And it's 2,900 attack. And if this card enters the field, I can check my or the opponent's top 5 cards, rearrange them as I like. And then, if this card destroys a card by battle, I get to draw a card. So I could arrange my deck and then draw a card that I want. That is very good. And then, If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, I can special summon 3 Destiny Hero monsters that are level 9 or lower from the extra deck. This means if I send Malicious, if I send Celestial, and if I send Dynattack, I get to special summon those from the grave, because it needs 3 Destiny Hero monsters and it's a perfect Fusion Destiny target. Yes, Dynattack has a good hand effect, but this is going to come up only if I'm in front, if I define the pace of the duo. So it's a very good card. I'm going to try it out. I hope it is helpful. We will see. And other than that, let's jump right into the duels. Here we are at this week's duel. As usual, we start off with the duel against the ThePokeMonarch. And yeah, setting 3 is scary, but I don't think that is too bad. Activate E-Call and want to special summon the Shadow Mist with the Solid Soldier, and that gets Chaliced. But I get over the Linkuriboh, dealing no damage in the process. He top decks his Return of the Dragon Lords, I think. And I get the Stratos, and I want to search with the Stratos, getting Ferris, setting up for next turn, and hitting in for 3100. It's his turn, and he drop decks into a Monster Reborn, which doesn't look too good for him. And I activate the Ferris, dumping the Shadow Mist, and don't activate the effect. I then forget that I, with that, negated my Ferris effect, and he called by the grave the special summon of Shadow Mist with Called by the Grave, obviously, but it doesn't matter. In the end, he surrenders game 1. Game 2, I have to go first, and actually that is not a bad going first hand. And I decided not to do anything. I don't know why I did. I think I wanted to show off the dominance that I got, so I didn't go into my usual Fusion Destiny combo, and he gets Draglubion plus the White Stone of Legend. I try to tribute the Draglubion first, but he gets it back. And then I activate Fusion Destiny, and here comes Imperial Order, which completely fucks my deck up. I set an Effect Veiler, and he hits in for 300. I hope I could stall him out, but I can see he has a Raigeki in hand, so setting the Solid Soldier won't help. He then goes into Halki-Fibrax. There is a Sage, and it gives him a second Blue Eyes. There's Triple Burst deals Piercing, and I'm on 100 left, and yeah, it's not looking too good. And I surrender here because top decking Celestial won't get me anything. Unfortunate. Here we are at game 3, and prepare for this. This is perfect. He sets 2 and passes. And my hand looks pretty good. I have a Rhoda, and I activate Solid Soldier. Of course, there's a Chalice. There's always a Chalice. I set 1, hit over into his White Stone of Legend, and pass the turn. He has 2 Sage, 2 Blue Eyes in hand, and with Sage he gets himself an Effect Veiler. I knew that. And he has a Blue Eyes on field now, which attacks over my Solid Soldier. That is not too good. He sets 1 and passes. I activate a Hero Lives. Risky play, I know. There's Shadow Mist, and that gets me a Mask Change. If there wasn't an Effect Veiler, but I got the Effect Veiler. And with the Liquid Soldier I get my Solid Soldier back. There is the Sunrise. And that gives me the effect gives me my Solid Soldier back. I Miracle Fusion into Absolute Zero, Mask Change that into Acid. And I somehow fucked up the combo, so in the end I couldn't finish him. He has 100 life points left. Remember that. And he top decks into Nebula Dragon, which was his perfect top deck. He goes into Draglubion, discards 1 and has Numeron Dragon. And look at the life points, the attack points that it has. My god, no. I was laughing my ass off when I just saw that I was joking to him and told him, yeah, go ahead. If you can find a monster that has around 5,000 attack points, probably you could kill me. I was joking at that point. I didn't knew he could do that, so he did it. Yeah, that's well deserved for him. He got it. For my match 2, I am up against Fanboy the Gamefreak, and you can see he is playing Burning Abyss. And Yeah, not too cool. I normal summon Stratos and that gets Solemn Striked. I set 2 and pass. Not looking too hot, to be completely honest. He just passes, I draw on 2 cards into a Fusion Destiny and activate that, going into Dominance, and he has Dynamiscus. You're going to see that is like one of the ways to get rid of Dominance, because it didn't get destroyed, it got banished. So that's the perfect answer to Dominance. I normally summon the Vion, that normally dumps my Shadow Mist, but that gets called by the grave. He then, I can't really tell which one was which, so I just Super Poly them away into Starving Venom. And I forgot that Shadow Mist is still under called by the grave, because it's still the turn, so it's not my next turn. He has Trap Trick when I activate Poly, and that gives him still Dynamiscus and a Torrential. And I couldn't play around that, just setting 1. He draws into Prosperity, normal summoning Tour Guide. That gives him the Fiendish Rhino Warrior and going into Cherubini. That's not looking too good. And I have a Torrential set, if I'm correct. I should have used that way earlier when the Cherubini came down. Yep, I just get rid of the Anaconda, so there is no Dragoon coming down. And look at that, I just saw that there's an IDP and Torrential, and he chooses to go for a completely different card, which name I completely forgot, but it isn't helping because I top deck into Honest Neos. He normal summons Tour Guide, that gives him another Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Cherubini activates, sending, I think it is, there's Skarm and going into Dante. He just passes turn, I activate Miracle Fusion, and it was something with Griefing. Fiend Griefing, I think. Going into Sunrise. Sunrise is a good card, but he deals 900 damage to me, but I still get the Miracle Fusion. And I then realize I made a terrible mistake, because I activated before I activate Honest Neos. So I only had the option to go into Sunrise, or use Sunrise as a fusion material, which was bad. Yeah, I deal a lot of damage, don't get me wrong here, but he has 2 Chainlinks and gets Seer back, I guess. And my Honest Neos was a bit wasted. I still have the Dynatech in hand, and he has this weird bird thing. And here I misplay, because he has Needle Sealing. And if I would have just activated Dark Ruler no more, I could have played through this, destroying the bird, and then I would be fine, but I was greedy and I didn't think about Needle Sealing, to be completely honest. He goes into Dante and activating Seer and Cherubini from Grave, I think. I don't know what Burning Abyss does, please don't roast me too much. And on his Dante I activate Dynatech. He has another Prosperity, and I think here he got a Trap Trick. Yes, he did. He has now no extra deck left, and I surrender because I top deck a Mask Change. That is unfortunate, could have been way better. If you think that was a long game 1, yeah, that was definitely. But we go into game 2, he goes first, normal summon Tour Guide, and Fiendish Rhino Warrior comes back. There's Cherubini, and that gets a Skarm, I guess, dumping. I'm sorry, I can't read the names, they are too small. And he has a Beatrice. And now there is a big Space Rock. And yeah, now I activate Dominance and he activates Beatrice. I rearrange my deck and do the big mistake, you're going to see that, of activating Malicious, because that shuffles my deck. I don't know why I did it. I absolutely don't know. Yeah, and then I just say, okay, I'm going to do what I'm going to do and destroy his Beatrice. And there is, as he called it, Gay Dante. The pilgrimage of Burning Abyss. The holy fusion Dante. And Tour Guide into Rhino and overlay into normal Dante. Karma Cut actually again banishes my dominance. So he has always the right answer. And there is a Nibiru coming down. And look at this Nibiru on his side. That token is big. That is a big beefy boy. 8,200 defense. I have Stratos and I had a plan to make this work. Get my Solid Soldier. And he has Trap Trick, and that with the set IDP and a set Dynamiscus, I wasn't sure how to play this. I wanted to get my Vion back with the Liquid Soldier, but I couldn't because he would have banished one of those. So I normal summoned the Solid Soldier. He gets over everything. I live, and there is an Imperial Order. I get my Vion back, that dumps the Shadow Mist and gives me Dynatech, so I survive a turn. And there is Polly. I link them away into the Cross Crusader because it's bigger and I can get over the Fiendish Rhino Warrior. He gets another Tour Guide and draws into Needle Sealing. I was hoping I somehow maybe can live, but there is Verte Anaconda, and you know where this is going. Red Eyes Fusion into Dragoon. And from there, nothing much that I could do. I could stop an attack, but it's not enough. He finishes me with Dante. I lose this match actually 2-0. It was close, but he wins the grand game. Match number 3, I'm up against Barkthalameow. And Barkthalameow and Fanboy's channels, you can find them in the description. Barkthalameow is playing Madolche, and this deck has some crazy recursion. Like, I feel like every time you do anything, it can play. I Vader the Glass Souffle, which was a problem, I think. But then I Nibiru, and he still has Salon, and there was not Promenade. I'm pretty sure about that. I get Dark Calling, and I'm excited because you know what that means. I have the Shadow Mist, getting Infernal Prodigy, fusing them away into Sunrise. Sunrise gives me Plasma, which I dump. And there is the Malicious Bane. And look at this board. That is huge. And I can go into my usual combo of destroying boards. He actually negates my Absolute Zero, but I wasn't too mad about this because I got rid of all of his back row and I could pop the token anyway with Sunrise effect. I win this game. Game 2, he decided to go first, activating Prosperity. Of course, there's a Prosperity. Why not? He then has Magellan and gets, I think, a Petting Sessur. Petting Sessur? Pudding Sess? Why do they all sound like they have the same name? Overlaying into the Chocolate a la Mode. My god, please don't roast me. There's a Hoot Cake, I know this. And there's a Promenade set now. And another Messengelato coming. And this is a fresh Sistart that he goes into last. I want to special summon the Prodigy, the Ferris, with dumping the Prodigy, and that gets striked. I activate Fusion Destiny, and somehow everything I do gets negated. I then have a Rhoda. That Rhoda gives me Liquid. Liquid gives me Infernal Prodigy. I activate Fusion Destiny and going into my Absolute Zero. That gets linked away into my Wonder Driver, and I attack into the fresh Sistart, dealing a bit of damage. He has Hoot Cake and gets Petting Sessur and going into Pudding Cess, overlaying to Queen Tiramisu. Don't roast me if any of the effects are wrong. Activating Salon, and that gives them setting Chateau, activating Ticket, and look at this board. This unfortunately is enough damage to take this game. My god. Madolche. That's some weird stuff. There's a Petting Sessur, and that is a Pudding Cess overlaying into Teacher Glass Souffle, and I'm pretty sure that's overlaying into Pudding Cess Chocolate a la Mode. And there's a Hoot Cake. Yep. A Messengelato coming out, getting the Salon. The Salon is activated. There's another Hoot Cake, and linking away into fresh Sistart. And now there is a Nibiru. Way too late, my friend. Way too late. I then, going to Stratos, activate the Honest Neos, so I have a level 5 or higher in the grave to activate Dark Calling, and there is a there's an Malicious Bane. I completely forgot the name of my best monster in the deck. Cool. But he is an out for this. That is Gamma Seal. And I'm a bit mad. My Stratos got negated and he has Angeli going to Petting Sisur. And of course, you know that is Pudding Says overlaying to Queen Tiramisu. And here is a Space Rock. And again, this is a good Space Rock, but I have a Torrential that clears the entire field. He has a Prosperity and one card that I didn't remember that is still set. Me having just one Dynatek in hand is not too good. Oh, it was a ticket. I remember now because I can see it. A Hero Lives is actually good, but I'm afraid to play anything because I still have 8,000 life points and I don't want to get into the area of being directly killed. He sets one and passes, and I get Fusion Destiny, and I think, okay, it's time now. And he chains the Sanctum to get the size, and I was, that's not too good. And then he did the crazy mistake to strike his own scythe. I don't know how this happened. I think that was a misplay. I think he is going to cry into the void for a long time, but that was not his intention. Yeah, we win this actually. So that is this week's duels. Okay, that's it for this week's duels. I hope you enjoyed them. Yeah, we lost 2, but I think losing against the ThePokeMonarch in this kind of fashion was hilarious. I loved myself. Well, I loved myself too. Yeah. And then I cried a bit because I laughed so much and I lost that. But we won a good amount of money and it is going to be very helpful in the future. You're going to see what we're going to get in the next episode. I think you probably know. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you check out Soyi. I hope you are hyped for the penultimate episode of Yugioh-Heroes that's coming out next week, episode 19. It's going to be hype. I hope you gave this video a like and subscribe to the channel. And other than that, thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.